Hello guys, and welcome to the Center of Aviation. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to start up the FlyByWire A320 NEO from cold and dark to ready for taxi. So that's going to include starting up the plane, no screens or anything on, and then to where we're going to start the engines and get ready for taxi. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, here is the flight deck, cold and dark, nothing on or anything. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is head up to the overhead panel, and we're going to want to turn on batteries number 1 and 2, right in the middle of the whole overhead panel, batteries 1 and 2 on. And then if you see external power set to available, or the green available little lettering is on, then you're going to want to turn that on so it can get everything lit up in here. So you can see some stuff came on. Then we're going to turn on all the fuel pumps, so all the things that have lights on them. So pretty much everything that has lights on it, that is what you're going to want to press. So then we're going to go up here to the top left, turn on the IRS system, the inertial reference system. This is what tells the aircraft where you are in the world. So that's going to take some time to align, about 7 minutes. While that's aligning though, we're going to head down here. Crew supply oxygen, you can see it was off with the white there, so we're going to want to press that so the oxygen there is all good. And then we're going to want to turn on nav and logo, wings, beacons, and strobes. We can go and turn on strobes. You can set it to auto. And then for the engine start, the last thing we'll do at the start here is turn on the APU. So we're going to turn on the APU, give it a couple seconds. This is the master switch. So this is kind of what's going to get everything ready. I have to wait a couple seconds, and we'll press start. And then for starting the engines, we're going to want the APU bleed to be on. So we're going to go and turn that on. So now the overhead panel is ready. Alright guys, if you remember, we selected all 3 of the IRSs to nav. This is what's going to turn them on. So if we look down here on the ECAM display, this is this middle display, we can confirm that they're actually aligning by it saying IRS, or it's just IR here, but this means IRS is aligning in 7 minutes. So this is the real world time. You can select 7 minutes. And also on the fly-by-wire FlyPad, you can go over here and select it to fast or instant if you want. But I like to keep it realistic. So we'll keep it at 7 minutes. Alright guys, so while this is aligning, while the IRS is aligning, you're going to want to program your Mcdo or MCDU or FMS on the Boeing, which is going to include all your performance for takeoff and landing, and then also your flight plan. So you're going to want to program this. There are a bunch of videos out there on how to program it. I won't go over it in this video because this is just strictly overhead panel and starting the engines. But you're going to want to program this using your briefing, which you can set up to automatically get inputted into the FlyPad by clicking into ATSU/AOC, and then you will enter your SimBrief username, and then you can select to auto put into your FlyPad, so it'll do it automatically once you load into the aircraft. But let's go and wait for these IRSs to align, and then once we have them aligned, then we'll go ahead and start and push. I'll show you guys how to start the engines on the A320. Guys, while we are starting the engines, I will be using my Thrustmaster TCA Captain Pack Airbus Edition flight controls, mainly the throttle quadrant for the start and push, which includes the ignition start switch, as well as the actual engine start switches, as replicated here in the A320. As you can see, very similar and realistic knobs and switches. Okay guys, so it looks like the IRS only needs 2 more minutes, so we can go ahead and call for the Pushback tug. I'm using Toolbar Pushback. For this one, it's a free add-on on flightsim.to. I made a video on how to get free add-ons from flightsim.to a few months back, so you can go ahead and check that out if you're interested in that. But here comes the tug. We'll be getting ready for our pushback. Alright, so he is lifting the aircraft currently. There he goes. Pretty cool how you can see it. Alright, now that he has lifted the aircraft, we are ready for our pushback. It's got 1 minute left. Oh, looks like it just finished. So we are ready for pushback. So let's go ahead and call for the reverse pushback. So we can go ahead and disengage the parking brake, also on the Thrustmaster TCA Captain Pack Airbus Edition throttle quadrant. It is right here in the actual Airbus. But here we go. Alright, so we'll get it going to the right. And we'll slow down a touch. Alright guys, so now that that is happening, we can go ahead and start the engines. So the first thing that you are going to want to do is select this knob right here in the middle, right here, to ignition start. Okay, it has a little bit of a glitch in the game, but there it goes. Double check your APU bleed air is on, and then start engine number 2. You always want to start engine number 2 first. And you can go ahead and check that it is starting by taking a look at the outside or checking the lower ECAM. You can see that the N1 and N2 is increasing. It should auto put this ECAM display on, like auto put the engine 1 on, but if it's not, then you just can click engine or any other thing that you want. You can select APU. But for the engine startup, obviously we're going to want the engine display. So we can see that engine number 2 is starting. Start the N1, or the N1 is starting to rise. Should be hitting around 20, and then it'll say available. A little bit of a tight pushback, there we go, and stop it. And disengage, or actually, yeah, disengage, or engage parking brake, sorry. Engage parking brake, so you can lower the aircraft. Yep, so there it goes. It's around 20. It'll say avail for available. So engine number 2 has been completely started. Good startup. So we can go ahead and start engine number 1. There we go. There goes engine number 1. Here it goes, starting up. Hop back in the flight deck to make sure everything is running smoothly. There it goes. N1 is rising. Again, looking for that avail / 20% area there. Once we're done with that, then we'll be ready for taxi fully. We'll just have to set our flaps and auto brake position. Alright, here it goes. It is available. We can disengage parking brake. Get the pushback screen out of there. All ground equipment is clear. You can see it's already moving. Let's set parking brake. Make sure it doesn't move. What is happening over there? Alright, so both engines have started cleanly, are all ready to go. We can set engine start switch to normal. We're going to set our flaps position for takeoff, which will be flaps 1. And we're going to arm the speed brakes by kind of bringing your mouse up, which you can see raises that up. And then set auto brakes to max. So you can go here, if you have the throttle quadrant, you can set this to high. Or you can just press this in the game. Set auto brakes max. That's basically like RTO on the Boeing, if you fly Boeing, which means it'll apply max braking to slow down in case of a rejected takeoff. So if you want to reject the takeoff, then it'll slow down as fast as possible. Alright guys, so from there we are ready for taxi. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned a thing or two, and now hopefully you are able to start the A320 NEO from cold and dark and get it ready for taxi. So thanks you everybody for watching, and thanks for visiting the Center of Aviation. Check out the description, and everybody have a great day.